And I really hope more because my target this season was to score 4 goals. I have 2 left and
The transfer market never fails to deliver its mix of chaos, ambition, and heartbreak. And this window has been no different. Every major club in Europe is scrambling, trying to position themselves for the next decade while avoiding the disasters of the past. At the heart of the rumors sit names like Garnacho, Dani Olmo, Konaté, Sancho, and Vlahovic, each carrying their own saga of power, money, and desperation. What we're witnessing is not just the shuffling of players, but the restructuring of footballing empires in real time. Take Real Madrid and Ibrahima Konaté. For months, Florentino Perez had been quietly circling, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. The plan was classic Madrid: no rush, no panic. Simply wait for the Liverpool defender's contract to wind down and swoop in for free, just as they had with Antonio Rudiger and Kylian Mbappe. But football doesn't always bend to Madrid's timetable, with Liverpool moving aggressively for Marc Guéhi and Giovanni Leone. The writing is on the wall. Keeping Konaté another year, knowing he could leave for nothing, makes little business sense. And so, Madrid suddenly have their opening. The whispers are growing louder. Konaté has already given a verbal nod to Los Blancos. If that's true, it's only a matter of whether Madrid pay Liverpool a modest €20 to 25 million now or gamble on waiting until January. The twist: PSG. The Parisians have no qualms about splashing cash, and should they decide to step in, Madrid could be forced to accelerate a move they had every intention of stalling. For Liverpool, it's a lose-lose. Either sell now for a fraction of his worth or watch another asset walk out the door for free. Over at Old Trafford, the Sancho saga has reached its last act. Once billed as United's crown jewel after a £73 million transfer, the winger now finds himself in exile, training nowhere near the first team. His relationship with the club, the fans, and his manager is beyond repair. Enter Roma, a club ready to hand him one last chance. Jose Mourinho might not be there anymore, but Roma remain a landing spot for outcasts seeking revival. Their proposal is pragmatic: a £20 million loan with an obligation to buy. United wanted a clean cut, a straight transfer, but time is their enemy. Paying Sancho £350,000 a week to rot in the stands is financial lunacy. The player himself is open to Rome, recognizing it could be the last chance to salvage his career. Yet there's the wage issue. Roma simply cannot stretch that far. If Sancho swallows his pride and cuts down his demands, this might just be the reboot he's been begging for. If not, he risks becoming one of the most spectacular flops English football has ever seen. Meanwhile, in Turin, a different drama unfolds. Randall Kolo Muani has made it clear he has eyes only for Juventus after half a season in black and white. The French forward feels at home, rejecting overtures from Newcastle and Tottenham in favor of a permanent return. PSG, ever the opportunists, see a chance to trim their squad and balance the books. They're willing to let him go for about €60 million, a hefty loss after paying close to €95 million just a year ago. But for Juve, it's a gamble worth taking. In 22 appearances, Kolo Muani delivered 10 goals and 3 assists, quickly becoming a fan favorite. Juventus are determined to lock him in, regardless of what happens with Dusan Vlahovic. For a club desperate to reassert themselves in Serie A and in Europe, securing a striker with his pace and instinct is not just a signing, it's a statement. Tottenham, too, are making statements of intent. With James Maddison sidelined, they are short of creativity, and all eyes are now on Dani Olmo. Barcelona, strapped for cash and squeezed by La Liga's financial restrictions, are reluctantly open to selling the Spaniard for around £50 million. Olmo's versatility, equally comfortable as a no-10, drifting wide, or even playing false 9, makes him the perfect Thomas Frank player for Spurs, who need immediate solutions. This isn't just about covering for Maddison, it's about elevating the team's entire attacking dynamic. Olmo's recurring injuries cast a shadow over his consistency, but the upside is enormous. Barcelona, for their part, know that letting him go could clear space to register new rivals, including Rashford, as the club continues its balancing act between ambition and financial collapse. Chelsea's name inevitably finds its way into every transfer discussion, and this summer is no different. Garnacho, Manchester United's prodigy-turned-problem, has reportedly agreed personal terms with the Blues. The young Argentine is practically begging United to sanction the move, turning down overtures from Leverkusen and Napoli to focus solely on Chelsea. United initially wanted £70 million, then dropped to £50 million. Chelsea won't go above £40 million. Somewhere in between lies the truth, likely around £40 to £45 million. For Garnacho, this isn't about numbers, it's about escape. United have made it clear he has no future in Manchester, and at 21 years old, his hunger for a fresh start is impossible to ignore. The irony, of course, is that United passed on a £60 million Napoli offer not long ago, only to now consider accepting much less. In the end, this looks like one of those transfers where both clubs walk away disappointed. But the player gets exactly what he wants. But Chelsea are not alone in the spotlight. Their pursuit of Xavi Simons has hit a wall with RB Leipzig over valuation, and into that chaos strolls Manchester City. Pep Guardiola, who never misses a chance to snap up a technically gifted attacker, is lurking. Chelsea and Leipzig are split over a £10 million gap. For City, £60 million is pocket change. Add to that the exits of Grealish and McAtee, plus the uncertainty around Savinho, and the path for Simons to Etihad looks wide open for the Dutchman. The decision is tantalizing: more minutes at Chelsea or the lure of Guardiola and trophies at City. Either way, the race has only just begun. Newcastle's Alexander Isak has sparked one of the window's most dramatic standoffs, refusing to train, boycotting sessions. The Swedish forward has essentially gone on strike to force through a move to Liverpool, with negotiations said to be in the final stages at €138 million. Isak believes his loyalty and performances warrant the chance to take the next step. Newcastle disagree. Their stance is firm. He will not be sold this summer. The deadlock has left the player's future in limbo, and the tension at St. James Park is reaching breaking point. If Liverpool pull it off, it would be a coup of the highest order. If not, Isak could face disciplinary action, fines, and a fractured relationship with the fans he once carried elsewhere. Real Madrid's backup goalkeeper Andre Lunin is once again at a crossroads. Fenerbahce, driven by Jose Mourinho's demand for reinforcements, are pushing hard for a loan with option to buy. For Lunin, this is more than just a transfer rumor. It's about finally breaking free from the shadow of Courtois. He has shown flashes of brilliance, but without regular football, his career risks stagnation. A move to Turkey with Champions League football on the line could be the reset he needs. Madrid won't block his departure if he asks, but they'll be forced to find another backup, and that complicates things. And finally, Barcelona's relationship with Robert Lewandowski has reached a cruel twist. Despite the poll turning down a jaw-dropping €100 million per season from Saudi Arabia, the club is already plotting life without him. Enter Dusan Vlahovic. At just 25, the Serbian remains one of Europe's most feared strikers, though wasted in Juventus's rigid system. At Barca, with their vertical passing and emphasis on space, he could rediscover the form that terrorized Serie A at Fiorentina. For Lewandowski, it's a bitter pill. He sacrificed riches to stay loyal, only to watch his club court his replacement, while he sits injured. For Juventus, who are desperate to offload Vlahovic's massive wages, Barcelona's interest could be the lifeline they've been waiting for. This transfer window, like everyone before it, is more than a simple shuffle of names on contracts. It is a battleground of egos, of clubs trying to prove they are still giants, of players wrestling for control of their own destinies. Garnacho may get his escape, Konaté may trade Anfield for the Bernabeu, Sancho may be reborn in Rome, and Lewandowski may live to see his replacement before his contract even ends. But one truth cuts through it all: in football, no one is safe from the ruthless logic of the transfer market. Now I'll throw it over to you. Which of these moves do you see actually happening before the window shuts? Do you think Chelsea will overpay for Garnacho? Will Spurs land Olmo? Or will City swoop in and snatch Simons out from under them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next twist in this transfer saga.